Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge. In fact, I'm a lot more proud of these 7 new bookshelves that I had to get installed to hold 2,000 new books that I bought. It's like the billionaire Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn. Now, maybe you've seen my TEDx talk where I talk about how I read a book a day. You know, I read a book a day not to show off. It's, again, about the knowledge. In fact, the real reason I keep this Lamborghini here is that it's a reminder that dreams are still possible, because it wasn't that long ago that I was in a little town across the country sleeping on a couch in a mobile home with only $47 in my bank account. I didn't have a college degree. I had no opportunities. But you know what? Something happened that changed my life. I bumped into a mentor and another mentor and a few more mentors. I found 5 mentors, and they showed me what they did to become multimillionaires.
Hey guys, today is Thursday, February 18th. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day here in Montana. The sky is blue, the snow on the ground, everything looks just gorgeous. So anyways, this is actually the first sunshine we've seen in a while, which is kind of crazy. Wanted to get right into this, guys, and talk about something I've gotten a few questions about, not super important, but the Flare Network Spark token. People said they can buy Flare, but if this Flare Network hasn't launched yet, how are they buying it, and what is it really? So go ahead and take a quick listen to this.
Yeah. Question 3. Spark is already trading on the open market. How is this possible? As the Flare network is not yet live, there are no Spark currently in existence. What you are witnessing is the trading of an IOU, a representation of Spark, which will be later redeemed for the real thing. The Spark IOU is currently trading on Bitru Exchange. Check the link in the description to receive free XRP.
Moving right along, we're going to see what, found this little article kind of interesting. They have a link right up here, which I found kind of funny that doesn't coincide with what he's saying in this video. So let's go ahead and watch what he has to say about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And as you all know, I'm not a big fan of Bill Gates, but we'll get into that a little later.
I also asked Gates where he lands on the topic we talk about virtually every day on this program, Bitcoin, and how he thinks about the cryptocurrency in the context of climate change, seeing as how Bitcoin takes enormous amounts of energy to digitally mine.
I don't own Bitcoin. I'm not short Bitcoin. So I've taken a neutral view. I do think, moving money into a more digital form and getting transaction costs down, that's something the Gates Foundation does in developing countries. But there we do it so that you can reverse the transactions, so you have total visibility of who's doing what. So it's not about tax avoidance or illegal activity. But Bitcoin can go up and down, just based on the mania or whatever the views are. And I don't have a way of predicting how that will progress.
I also asked Gates where he lands on the topic we talk about virtually every day on this program, Bitcoin, and how he thinks about the...
I don't know why that started replaying. It's kind of annoying. But anyways, I think you guys get the picture here. But he says he's really, it's funny. Everyone always talks about Bitcoin, but then you go up here to click on this, and nobody ever wants to talk about Ripple or XRP. But you go into here about the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They have already been running on the Ripple network, and a lot of these huge tech companies are already doing that. It's kind of, if it's like news behind the news, so to speak. So it's not out in plain view. Everyone's talking about Bitcoin, and people that are talking about Bitcoin are into XRP or into the Ripple network for like banks and things like that. So I thought really funny. Bill and Melinda Gates, that's a long story, considering the fact that they've been dead since 2013, according to Ancestry.com and a bunch of other forums. This is actually linked down in the description of the video, so you guys can check out this article and some stuff on them no longer being here. He sure gets a lot done being dead, I will have to admit. Moving right along, we're going to go here and watch another little clip with Brad Garlinghouse on Digital Asset Investor. Brad Garlinghouse, some say Ripple could be the next Bitcoin. Let's listen in and see what he has to say.
Some say Ripple could be the next Bitcoin. What do you think, Brad? Is that a compliment that Ripple could be the next Bitcoin?
Well, I think if we're solving a real problem and it's at scale, then I think it's a compliment. I think the most important thing that is going on in crypto is understanding what is real and what is just hype. Some, I think, may look back on Bitcoin and find that it was the Napster of digital assets. What I mean by that is Napster was the first to digitize music and demonstrate, hey, if you digitize music, you can do a lot of cool things with that. But ultimately, they were circumventing trademark laws, they were circumventing royalty payments, and government stepped in, and Napster was not successful. But Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, they were very successful. I think what you'll find is that maybe the next generation of digital assets ends up solving some of the original problems that Bitcoin set out to solve.
So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Moving right along, GameStop. I found this kind of article kind of interesting. Again, this is linked down in the description. We are dangerously close to collapse of entire system, says Interactive Brokers founder ahead of the GameStop hearing. So that's pretty interesting. This is definitely something's coming. There's definitely some type of system collapse that technically should already be here. I'm not really sure why it's not yet. Anyways, moving right along. This guy's pretty good, Kevin Cage. He does look at a lot of stats and statistics, which I don't usually follow too much because of the direction of cryptocurrency and where it's going. It's not going to be based on like I said, 99% of them are going to disappear until they find utility. So you're going to see a lot of cryptocurrencies going away in the near future. So I don't really look at statistics and stats of the marketplace as of right now anyways, because you can't really predict that in any way whatsoever because of the upcoming regulations on cryptocurrencies, which nobody seems to be talking about. So a little bit on what he thinks here. So this is interesting. Watch this here.
So XRP is very undervalued in comparison with other alts. And with this type of metric, of course, kind of comparing and doing a ratio or whatever, you can see XRP should be worth over $6.75 right now if you were following these numbers. Is that outlandish? No, not at all. I mean, even the fib extensions, the 4.236, show $10 to $15. So I think it's just simply a matter of time. And anybody that goes, but market capitalization is a fugazi. It's fairy dust. It is just something to measure equities in the stock market. They have they're a different asset class. It's a different beast. There's not that much money that's liquid in the market, even per the study that JP Morgan did years ago when the crypto market cap, today we're at 1.5 trillion with a T, when we're at 300 billion with a B, small, literally like 1/5 of that amount. When we were there, they said that there's only about 50 billion out of the 300 billion valuation that was actually liquid. So keep that in mind, all right? There's tons of slippage that could occur with these order books. In the future, we're going to have a different ecosystem when there's proper depth of order books, I should say, and ample liquidity. Right here, this was actually the interview. Good, I'm happy I pulled this up. So this is the interview I would love for you guys to watch if you have time. I get it. I watch everything on 2x speed because I'm a maniac, if you can't tell. But right here, fostering adoption, coexisting with existing payment schemes, but we need to foster innovation, not just replace it with something slightly better. This is what these central banks, the 40 and 50 central banks that Ripple is actively working with and has been for the past several years, needs to focus on. So really, I encourage you guys to look at this,
Okay, so that first part that he was talking about right there, XRP being very undervalued right now, and this is what I keep saying: do not sell your XRP. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I am just saying, like, as somebody that's been in the marketplace for a long time and that's done investing for a long time. Understanding the true value of something, they're right now they're holding XRP back for a reason. I mean, if you look at anything out there, everyone's saying that it should be anywhere between $6 up to $16 to $18, depending on which form you're reading that from. So XRP is definitely heading places, and we'll see where it goes. But it's definitely going to be not a gradual climb. It's going to be a flip of the switch, because once it gains utility, it's going to explode. Mark my words on that. That I believe 100%. So we'll see how accurate I am. Anyways, moving on. Okay, guys. Going to a Mr. Poole tweet a while ago here, and everyone's reshared this a million different times. But on January 27th, 2021, Mr. Poole tweeted out the Black Swan. So we're looking for a Black Swan event. And I've been watching a lot of different things. I found it really interesting. I think I did solve some stuff here. I'm going to let you guys in on this a little bit on when I believe that XRP is going to actually take off, which you guys will find pretty interesting. I'm not going to give you all the little details that I got. I'm just kind of going to get right to the chase of it. But anyways, so looking for the Black Swan, I was watching this video today. Give you guys a little input on what she says here. I'll give you 411 of who she is first here, so listen up to this really quick. And then when she says in this video, Bitcoin, just replace that with XRP.
I'm Eric Schatzker, and welcome to Bloomberg's Front Row. Today I'm talking to Cathie Wood, the CEO of ARK Investment Management and active ETF superstar. You might know Cathie for predicting back in 2018 that Tesla would hit $4,000 a share. She hung on amid a torrent of scorn on social media. Now that, and many of her other bets on disruptive innovation, are paying off massively. Cathie's biggest ETF has returned well in excess of 100%, and ARK's assets have swelled to $50 billion.
We still think there's a lot of room or runway ahead because what we think, but from an IRS point of view, if our portfolios generate more than 10% of gross profits in unqualified income, which is usually commodity-like income, the IRS allows that 10% and then will confiscate the rest of it. So if we moved into a black swan event where the equity markets imploded and Bitcoin took off,
Knowledge.
our clients.
Okay, guys, Black Swan event on the horizon. Definitely something to be watching out for. I find this very, very interesting. And now to get right to the end of this, like I said, I don't want to make this video very long, but I've been following a few more clues just from the post from Mr. Poole, Mr. C. Mr. Poole always points to events that are occurring, or it'll point to other tweets sometimes on Twitter. And then Mr. C will kind of give you riddles and things like that. Also, there's a couple of riddlers on there. I won't go over, like Bearable Guy 1, 2, 3, and all that kind of stuff. We won't go too much into that right now. But I write down all of the things that they say. I screenshot it all, and I kind of go over it. And then I got to go back sometimes, because sometimes the future will prove the past, kind of like the other type of post, the 17 posts. So that happens a lot. So I just kind of realized today. He had said that just a few more weeks. He said a few more weeks. A few is 3. A couple is 2, obviously. So he said a few more weeks. So I'm looking at 3 weeks out, puts us at, I think, what is that, March 11th or something like that. So he's just roughly saying a few more weeks, and basically he didn't really give a clear explanation exactly what was going to happen, but he kind of was just hinting at 3 more weeks, and we're basically going to be, possibly mooning by then. I'm guessing. Like I said, everything he says is in riddles, but so I'm looking at that. Then he also said that XRP moons in 2020, and so again, 2020 is there's 2 things that you can look at 2020. So everyone's like, no, we're in 2021. And that's why a lot of people don't like Mr. C. They don't like the riddlers, because they don't think outside of the box. So they get really frustrated really easily. And if you look at 2020, there's a lot of places that are in 2020 still. There's from India, the Indian calendar, and some of the beliefs. I forget the name of the different months. They have weird names for them. But I looked them up and cross-referencing what he was saying, and there was a calendar I found that is still in that's still in 2020, and the new year doesn't begin until spring. That's the belief, is that when everything renews in the spring, that is the New Year. So the New Year's Eve for them would be on the very last day of March, basically, and then April 1st would be the New Year's Day. But then he also said that it mooned during the new moon. So if you actually look that up, so that, first of all, that bumps us back to April, the 1st of April, or before the 1st of April, because he says we moon in 2020. So it's not in April, it's definitely sometime, I believe, in March. And so if you go back far enough and look at the new moons, because I was looking, he said new moons a while ago, and then I kind of discarded that a little bit, but then I went back to it because it didn't happen in January, and then the new moon in February didn't happen, and then I'm like, okay, what? I was like, he's all over the place, I don't understand. So then I went back to that, and I like, oh my gosh, I was like, okay, so 3 weeks from now is in that same time frame. We have a new moon on March 13th. And that is the only new moon, the last new moon before April. So I believe that it happens before April. That's still in 2020, and that's also the tax fiscal year for the tax season ends, I think, April 6th or something like that. So both of those two things coincide with that. So it happens before April, and it happens around the new moon, which the last new moon, I believe, is March 13th. Correct me if I'm wrong. So anyways, definitely looking at a lot of things, looking at the OCC to overregulate or to basically give some clarity to Ripple or XRP with this whole SEC Ripple lawsuit. So I think that something, really be paying attention to the OCC, really be paying attention to that. So anyways, hope that makes sense, guys. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Give me a subscribe and a thumbs up if you found this video useful. I appreciate your guys' time. We'll talk soon. Hey guys, had to jump back on here really quick before I end this video completely. I was jumping off and I suddenly got a notification for Bank XRP and Mr. C. So Bank XRP just posted this. The SEC called XRP digital asset security called XRP. What the F is that? Securities and Exchange Commission versus Ripple Labs, blah, blah, blah. They actually posted this right here in their summary. I found that really interesting. What I found even more interesting is Mr. C's reply to this. It seems like the U.S. will categorize DA into 3 subtitles or subtypes: securities, commodities, and currencies.
Knowledge.
This is very, very interesting, guys. I'm going to dive into this a little bit and see what I can find. Definitely put some more of this information on my next video. Definitely some exciting things are happening, guys. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Talk to you guys soon. Go buy some XRP. Later.